Hi guys, I wanted to go over with you on what is required of you from this packet called the Period 1 Unit Plan. This is the one packet I gave you that does not need to be finished when you come back in August. It will be due Monday, August 19th, and you will have time to work on it the first full week of school that we come back. But there are parts that I'd like you to do, and in fact, I do want you to start with this. So first off, I'm going to point out a few things about my organization that you'll get used to over the course of the year because it kind of stays the same. So at the top here, you'll notice what period it is and the title. This is important because you're going to want to keep all your papers at home in like a binder or something like that so that you'll have them to study for the big test in May. Next here on this unit plan here, you can see there's 2 investigations on the unit on this unit. We do call our units an APUSH period. There are 9 periods in total. Usually there will be 3 investigations, but this is a pretty short one, so there's just 2. You can see on the right-hand side over here the dates that we would be using those investigations, but I assigned both of them to you for summer homework. So make sure both those investigation packets are complete when you come back in August. They will be due the first Friday, and you will have your Chapter 1 test, although there are skills in the investigation as well as in the unit plan. Here, I won't be testing you on skills, just Chapter 1. All right, and then here we'll tell you the date of your exam. So every time at the start of a unit, you will get the information about what's going on, how many investigations there are, and when your unit test will be. So hopefully you will find that handy. All right, next we go down here to the overarching learning objectives, and there's 2, one at the beginning and one kind of at the end. Don't worry about how I labeled them. This first one is learning objective A and then learning objective G. So that's just part of my organization. So don't worry about that. This is where you're going to start. So you're going to just read the first learning objective here. So go ahead and do that. And then come on over here and you are going to record your knowledge of that learning objective. Like, can you explain the context for European encounters? If you can't at all, this is the first time you've ever even thought about this, put a 1. If you feel like you could write an essay off the top of your head, not researching, just off the top of your head, full essay, put a 5. And then if you're somewhere in the middle, put a 2, 3, or a 4 where you kind of feel you're at. There's no right or wrong answer for this. This is just kind of getting you to think about what we're going to be learning about in this unit. Over here, please write the date. And then down below, you're going to leave these blank for now. You will come back to these objectives before your test on that Monday, August 19th. And before then, you'll assess your knowledge of the learning objective. Hopefully there's some growth. Hopefully it's more towards the 4 or sometimes the 5, although doing these things off the top of your head would be quite impressive. So again, don't worry about the numbers. What we're looking for is growth. All right, and then go ahead and you're going to do learning objective G. I can explain the effects of the development of transatlantic voyages from 1491 to 1607. And then go over here, 1 through 5. 1, you've never thought about it before, you have no idea. And 5, you could write an essay off the top of your head and then go ahead and beat it. All right, after you've done that, you're going to notice that we've got 2 key concepts. So each of these key concepts will drive an investigation. So again, usually there will be 3 of them, but this is a shorter unit, so there's only 2. So this first key concept is kind of the premise for the first investigation, and this one for the second investigation. And then here I outlined what you're going to be doing in each investigation, so you can kind of get a feel for what we're going to be learning at right off this, right from the start. All right, the next thing you do need to do before you come back, and in fact, I want you to start with this, is to do this little schema activity about what do you already know. And here you can just list anything you know about Native Americans. You can list tribes, you can list movies you've seen about Native Americans, you can list Native American mascots and sports. I really don't care. It's just to get your brain thinking about these topics. So just jot down everything you can think of off the top of your head. And if it is 1 or 2 things, that is fine. None of these things are expected to know about, but just write down what you know. And go on to Christopher Columbus and then American geography. And again, anything works. And if there's really very little, that's okay too. Hopefully you'll learn a whole bunch. Okay, so that part needs to be done when you come back. In fact, do that first. And then you're also going to do this part first before you go on to your investigation. So learning objective B, go ahead and read that, and then you're going to do a self-assessment right over here. Okay, leave the bottom ones blank. Go ahead, you can skip these parts. If you want, you can come back to it after you've worked in your investigation. That is fine. But you're going to skip all the way down to learning objective C. Read that, make sure that you self-assess and date that. There's a learning objective B, learning objective E, right there, and F. So do all of those before you start working in your investigation. Then afterwards, if you want to get a head start on this because you've got time and that first week back to school is going to be a little bit busy, you are more than welcome to come back and work on this unit plan. And again, you should do these guiding questions after you've done the reading and the work in your investigation. So investigation number 1 has to do with topic 1.1 and 1.2. So this one you could do after you do investigation number 1 if you like, not required of you. Over here in this column, you're going to put the sourcing information. So, try to answer these as best you can without looking at your investigation, but surely if you need to, that's fine. This is not your test. And so you're welcome to look at your notes and information. Put where you got the information from if you do go back to your notes. And I think that will help you to review for your test. If you come back to this and you're, again, not remembering it or whatnot, you can go, oh, I need to go find that article, and you can do so very easily. Again, this also I think would be helpful for your semester final, as it will be helpful too for the big test in May. So that's kind of my thought process behind that. This is new this year, so we're going to try it out and see how it goes. So again, feel free to answer any of these questions that you can that go with investigation number 1, not required of you, but that's fine. Now, when you get to this thematic focus, you'll notice that you're going to come across, if you work on this at all over the summer, there's going to be 8 themes this year. Last year we had 7, so now we've got 1 more. And these are going to be really important ways of thinking about the information in history. For APUSH, you can't just regurgitate information or definitions or facts. You've got to be able to make these connections. So for this unit, for the first investigation, investigation number 1, there's 2 major geographic themes. So you would just want to answer these questions as best you can with what you've learned in that investigation. It's not required to answer anything past that. We will do something with this further in class, but just based on the information that you have learned. No outside reading or research beyond what I've given you is fine. And they don't need to be several paragraphs or anything like that. You can bullet point for these if you would like. That is fine. Or you could write it as a sentence. That's fine too. So you'll see that at the end of each topic. So topic 1.3 would be with your investigation number 2. So make sure you do that first. And then if you want, you can come over here and you'll notice the themes for topic 1.3 are about America and the world. So there's going to be 4 different questions under that theme for you to think about. And we'll come back to these every single investigation and all throughout the entire year. And they're going to be really important for the big test. All right, and then there's topic 4. Again, not required to do so, to do this, but then you'll see there's geographic focuses here, so 1.0 and then 3.0. I will say on this unit plan, you may not be able to answer everything. Some of this will be in information I covered during that first week in class. And so if you are trying to work really hard and get as much of this done as you can, and you cannot get something done with the material I've given you, then don't worry about it. I promise I went through this. I made sure that we will cover all the information for you. So don't stress out about it if you're working on this and there's parts that you can't answer. That is fine. Part of my job. Make sure you get all the information you need. All right. So again, on this unit plan, the only thing that is required of you is, let me go back to the top, learning objectives A through G, self-assess 1 through 5, and date. And then the other part is topic 1.1. So So these 3 things right here. So that's all that's required of you. If you do more, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine as well. All right, let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.